Hello, and welcome to episode 76 of Prog Review. And we're continuing with this epic journey of Rush exploration, whatever you want to call it. We are working our way through Sector 3 box set with the little guy on the sleeve there. I think that's the drummer. Yeah, Mr. Pierre. I think that's how you say it. And today, if you haven't read the description, we're talking about Hold Your Fire. Oh, a vision in red. Don't you agree? So, better do the thumbnail. That should be enough. Ah, dear. It's a shame. We're nearly there. After Power Windows, I wasn't looking forward to this record at all. You know, I was like thinking maybe I should give it a week, you know, but you got to keep plugging away at it. So I sat down and got back on the horse and fired up the old CD player and strapped on the headphones, and away we went. Anyway, this is the 12th studio album from Rush, which was released in 1987, and I actually have vague recollections of its release as I was working behind the record bar of Woolworths, Baker's Arms, Leyton, and the funny thing is I don't actually ever remember selling a single copy of it, so there you go. The album opens with vocals, vocal washes, and sort of pseudo industrial soundscape before the burbling bass of Geddy Lee takes over, and immediately we're back to very familiar territory. The awful production or mastering or mixing or whatnot is evident again, and my teeth are aching. They really are. So turn the volume down. What is apparent is this is a very synth-heavy song, and the best bits are when the band do the old, quiet routine. Overall, it's dull, though I did enjoy the bass work of it. So there you go. That was a Force 10. Forced myself to listen to it. So then this is followed by Time Stands Still, which was the lead single from the album. And I must admit, it did actually sound familiar to me. Unlike a lot of Rush material, this at least tries to be catchy. You know, there is the chorus refrain of the title, which is the hook. And though I must admit, the vocals on this do mark a change for the band, it doesn't actually sound like Geddy Lee singing. There's a maturity to it. He's singing. His phrasing is different. Seems to be lower. You can actually understand what he's singing about. And what I enjoyed was the additional vocals of Amy Mann, and she gives the song some much needed colour. And overall, it is a competent pop song. That's all I've got to say on the matter. Then comes Open Secrets, which starts again with some really lush synth pads, and it builds up intrigue. It sounds intriguing. It kind of lures you in. And I must admit, I did start to nod my head, like that. I'm digging it. I'm nodding my head. But the bottom line is, this is just another pop rock song, and it's inoffensive. But I really liked the synth hook. You know what I mean? It was priceless. I really did enjoy that. But again, this stuff is all kind of vanilla. It's not really grabbing me. However, it's not repelling me like Power Windows. So I'm kind of, they must be doing something right-ish. Moody electric piano and a slightly lower gear. They slow the pace down for Second Nature. And, it's nice to hear. It's always nice to hear Rush, operate at a slower speed. Everything always seems to be a million miles a second. I actually like it when they draw things back. That's when they do their more interesting work. And, they're not battering you with the usual bombardment of bass, drums and guitar. Now, I shouldn't by nature like this kind of power pop, but again, this wasn't too bad. Yeah, I got through it without, bursting into tears. Prime Mover is the bright and breezy song. It's again, all of these songs are songs of their time. It's got big drums, chiming guitars, rich synths. This is the MO of Rush at this time. And it's hard not to hear these songs and be taken back in time, Rush, they don't make timeless music. They make music of the time. They're not like other rock bands who, make a song that, that can transcend the decades. Rush are very much planted, in their times. They are freed and bound by the technology of the time. That's their limitation. But again, it's not a bad song. It's okay. Lock and Key. Now, this reminds me of an idea I actually had for a television show. It was going to be about a man who owned his own successful key cutting business, but who also solved crimes in his spare time. Darren Locke, you see, me, I play the lead, perhaps, named him after myself, would be ably assisted by his business partner, Wayne Key, who also took up cobbling duties as well. Yeah, cobbling duties. It's always funny how key cutters also mend shoes. How did this happen? Where did it come from? How did they make the transition from shoes to keys, or vice versa? I guess we'll never know. It's one of the mysteries of the universe, along with why men have nipples, why dogs can't walk backwards, and if you buttered a piece of bread on both sides, why when you drop it doesn't it land on its edge? Why? But yeah, Lock and Key, I began to lose interest. It sounded like everything that had gone before. Again, the problem with Rush is they have no variety in their records. Everything just becomes consensus, and they need to mix it up. They really do need to mix it up, for me anyway. The Rush fans are sharpening their knives as I continue. Mission is another one of their songs about how hard it is to live the dream. I think they've kind of trod this path before on one of their previous albums. I don't know. I was basically moments away from jamming a knitting needle into my leg to stop myself zoning out completely. Yep, there's some interesting percussion going on. Then it goes slow, and then I guess that's the point where the crowd reach for their Zippo lighters and hold them aloft. Ugh, it's awful. It's awful. Oh, come on, let's all be honest. You don't really like this stuff, do you? Did you really like this stuff? I think you're conning yourself. I really do. Are we there yet? Are we? Are we there yet? No, 3 more songs to go. Turn the Page starts off promising, and then we go back to more Rush by numbers. But then we get some interesting bass noodling, and this builds to a chorus, which I thought worked well. And the song adds some power and pep to kind of drag me along with it. But the problem is the song repeats itself, a bit too easily, and is a little too long. And if they'd have cut it down and made it a 3-minute pop song, I think it'd have been really powerful. But that's just me moaning again. Are we there? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No. 2 more songs to go. The band breaks out the ethnic sound patches on the D50 keyboard, and before you can say monkey magic, we're heading up a mountain. And this is delivered with a healthy dollop of cheese. The music isn't too bad. It's it's got some atmosphere and nice pacing. They do their best to build it up, but the lyrics suck big hairy nuts. I like the music, but I had issue with the lyrics, which I thought they were just utterly schoolboyish, and the bloody splash cymbal needs to be unscrewed and shoved firmly up Neil Peart's arsehole. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Yeah, it's the final song. Woohoo! High Water starts off with the usual wash of drums, synth and bass, but we get this really sweet bit of guitar from Alex Lifeson, which comes and goes a little too soon for me. It takes 2 minutes for the singing to start, and wasn't too bad. Okay, the tribal drum motif wears out its welcome, but I must admit I did start to nod my head to this, and I actually started to appreciate Lifeson's guitar playing for once. I don't really like him as a player because he has a lead tone that makes me want to pull off my own ears and eat them, but the phrasing here was really good, and it kind of got me. Plus, I always feel comfortable staring out at sea. And so that's that. In terms of the studio albums of the box set, we're done. Just got a live album to do. I must admit, Hold Your Fire wasn't the sonic shitfest I thought it was going to be, and there's some interesting moments on the album. But again, the mix or the mastering or whatever really played havoc with my ears. They've got this abrasive edge that makes it painful. And I find that quite weird because albums don't usually do that to me. And I think if the band had dropped a couple of the songs, it would have made a really nice compact record, but there's some flab there. And as per usual, they're guilty of moving in one gear. They never vary their sound palette, and that always leaves me a little bit cold. So in terms of rating, I'm going to give this 3 shiny balls out of 5. Yes, that's 3 shiny balls out of 5. The cover actually predicted its own rating. Wow, that's just crazy, man. My name's been Darren Locke. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe. You know the routine. Only one more thing to say before the 12 minutes are up. Prog on.